Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. Just want to say congratulations on getting your new F-350 from us here at Allen Vigil Ford. Thank you for your business.
Thank you.
Brian, just want to say congratulations, man. Thanks for coming down from Tennessee to get your new truck from us.
Thank you.
God bless and have a safe trip.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. What do you think? Is it worth the wait, buddy?
I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with it.
Well, listen, man, thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Ron.
Hello. I don't know why, but I can't hear anything, Jonathan. I could only hear the commercials. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I hear nothing. I just see your mouth moving, but I hear absolutely nothing.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Okay, I'm sure you hear me now, don't you?
Yes, I can hear you now. Wow.
Well, the amazing thing is, in which I'm shocked that all these people have logged on to basically do the same thing that you've been doing for the last 2 or 3 minutes, watching my lips move and not hearing a daggone thing. So evidently my mic was dialed all the way down into the no gain position. But so if you're not come on, people just been watching me mime the whole time. There you go.
Yeah,
Well, guys, what that's letting you know, folks, is that if anybody's out there wants to be a video producer, we certainly could use that because from time to time I got a lot of moving parts going on here. So yeah, if you would like to come and help us out on the Real Talk Sports Show, please do. Let me pop up my information right here so you can connect with me. Let me put it up here. And thanks for all those of you who clicked on here and stayed with me this time. Oh, we got a lot going on today, guys. Yeah. So if you guys would like to help me produce this show, there it is right there. Hit me up on social media, or even better yet, you can do this. You can go ahead and here's my information. Jason at realtalksports.net, or you can call me up 678-410-9833, and we would love to have you help us produce this show because as you can see, from time to time, I'll be having a little situations. So we appreciate your help, and anything that you do like to help us out, we could do it. As you can see now, my video is getting kind of snarky, but that's okay. We're gonna have this show down pat before we get off the air tonight. Eventually, amen. All right, Tree, as I was saying earlier, yeah, WNBA. I was telling people that this is probably the most coverage that I've done on WNBA since I've been on the air, except for maybe there was a while there where I used to have Rusha Brown come on the show from time to time, and then actually had her and Tisha DeShield, Diamond's mom, in studio with me the year that Diamond actually won, either the year of or the year after she won High School Player of the Year. So that's going back a little bit. So it's definitely, you can see that the WNBA is moving the needle.
Oh, they are. I love it.
And what's interesting is, as you know, anytime you have people moving the needle, you got people on both sides of the coin. So there's a guy who a lot of people feel that he is just a man that is bent to create controversy. Jason Whitlock has been hammering away on social media, making fun of the way the women play, talking about the standard of play. And I just tell people, listen, it's the play is different. I mean, you can't compare one against the other. The best way I can describe it is Serena Williams said, "I'm not interested in playing men's tennis." She goes, because it's a different type of sport. She goes, the realities are the men do serve the ball harder, they do hit the ball harder. She goes, so yeah, I have no problem being considered amongst the best women, but yeah, I couldn't go out there and play men's tennis. And I'm sure if you talk to any women in WNBA, maybe one or two might be able to play in a roster, but most of them no, because it's different. So anyway, Jason Whitlock, shame on you for constantly throwing shade at the women about their caliber of play. And that's why a lot of people don't like you, Jason. I'm just saying.
Well, first of all, anybody that wants to talk about their caliber of play, clearly they have no clue what they're talking about, because the women who play in the WNBA, oh my goodness, like it is some phenomenal basketball being played. Talk about hustle, talk about grit, talk about talent. Whatever. That, to me, that's just comical. It's very comical.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I know what this is all about.
Since the WNBA came into existence, these women have been playing phenomenal basketball. Phenomenal.
Look, it's all about clicks. I mean, that's really the bottom line. No matter, this is nothing new. Anytime you have someone or someone's that are, I guess you can use the word polarizing, where you have people that kind of rah rah, and people like, it's just you're gonna generate fan activity, and you're gonna generate eyeballs and clicks. So whether you are someone who's a pundit that's saying, "Hey, I appreciate everything's going on, and this is really great," or whether you're a guy like Whitlock that seems to have gone out of his way to throw shade at the ladies, he knows, as well as his co-host, for every controversial thing they say, for every shady thing they say, they're gonna get more people to come on and put comments on their page and call them bums or stupid, or you're gonna get some people agree. So yeah, I get it, but it's just saying that we have to kind of resort to that kind of way of trying to build your brand. I mean, and that's why we say the Real Talk Sports Show, we bring you sports from a different perspective. That's right. We don't do that kind of stuff. We want to give honor to honor is due. Honor to whom honor is due. And like I said, you got to give the women the credit. They're balling out. All right. So I'm going to ask you a question. Speaking of that, I'll pop it up here on the screen again. If the season was to end today, who would be your choice for Rookie of the Year? Would it be the Bayou Barbie, Angel Reese, or the Indiana Assassin, Caitlin Clark?
That's a tough question to answer today. The issue is they both have broke records. They both have WNBA first. They both have been player of the week multiple times, player of the month. They both are balling out, averaging double doubles. Caitlin Clark, as we know, is the first rookie to actually get a triple double. It's never happened before in the history of the WNBA. And we know that Angel Reese has broken Candace Parker's record for double doubles.
Most consecutive, that's correct.
On her 13th consecutive double double.
13 consecutive.
Yeah, so these things, like they're both breaking barriers. They're both balling out. They're both starting to find their rhythm in the WNBA, and they're playing great ball. That's honestly, that's a tough one right now, because in order for me to pick today, I would have to go into depth of just all of their stats, but they're both, like, to me, they're right here. I'm not saying where one is higher than the other yet. They're both balling out. They're both scoring. They're both helping their team assist. I mean, I'm sorry, I can't answer that one right now.
It's okay. Let's take a pause here because I got an answer. So let's take a pause. Going back to social media. Oh, look who's in the building. Our man Sullivan. He just said,
Sullivan.
As you know, hey, oh, shucky ducky, guess who's back? And he knows the real deal. I'm Pastor Jay Slice, but not on the green.
Not on the green.
Not on the green, baby. We appreciate you. Yeah, so what's my answer? My answer is I'd like them to do something which I know they probably wouldn't do. I'd like to see a tie.
No, you can't do that.
I know you can't do that, but
you can't do that.
But I do believe that both of them are equally honorable. Let's take a look at the stats for a second. Let's take a look at the season leader stats right now. And we'll get back to talk about the woman who I hope to get a chance to ask her tomorrow. Is she on a mission to really stamp herself as the best women's basketball player in the world, bar none? But we'll talk about her in a second. All right, let's go to season leaders. All right, rebounds per game. Angel Reese is the number one rebounder average per game in the WNBA. She leads Asia Wilson by a full 1 rebound per game. She's 11.9, almost 12 rebounds per game for Miss Angel Reese. She also, speaking of rebounding, leads the WNBA in offensive rebound. And that's a lot of people ask because she has a lot of putbacks. They say even with her taking away from the putbacks of her own shot, she still would be the league leader. Meanwhile,
a score is a score.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Meanwhile, Miss Caitlin Clark is number 2 in the WNBA in assists, and she's also in the top 30 in scoring. I think she's 27 in scoring at 16.8 points a game. So, and as you mentioned, she is the first and only rookie to have a triple-double. But then Angel Reese is 13 consecutive double-doubles. So that's why I say it'd be wonderful. And look, now you say it can't be a tie. I mean, if all the votes end up to be, what's the tiebreaker? How do they do it?
Well, first of all, there can't be a tie, because if there's an odd number, there can't be a tie.
Gotcha. Well, I'm just wondering. I mean, when they add the votes up,
it's just highly impossible.
Here's what I said. Don't is it like a point system? Like you get like 5 points for like a five seating, and like I know in other ballots it's like this. They give you like 5 points if someone puts you number 1 MVP choice. They give you maybe 3 points if they put you at number 2. Do they still do that, or?
I have no clue.
Meanwhile, Sully says it's a hard choice. You're right, brother. It's
a hard choice, but there cannot be a tie. And even if there ever was a tie, which I don't think with the scoring system that there can be a tie, they would have to pick one. That's the thing with sports, and especially professional sports. You can't have a tie. It's highly impossible. You have to have one person. It's a tough decision. Very tough decision. Both girls are fighting for it. Both girls want it.
And of course, what might be the tiebreaker is which young lady gets her team into postseason. If I'm not mistaken, the top 8 teams go to the playoffs. Am I right on that?
Yes, you are right. I believe. So I don't think that changed.
That's right. Right now, drum roll, please. Both the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky would be in the playoffs. They'll stop right now. The Chicago Sky would have the last peg at the eighth seed, and the Fever would be rather have them the seventh seed. And interestingly enough, they're almost a statistical tie in terms of their wins and loss.
Yeah. That's what
They're
I'm
they're
saying.
not
Even their teams are kind of like neck and
even
neck.
their teams. That's right. Yeah, it's really crazy. So, bottom line is one thing we do know is that both of them are MVPs for bringing a lot of fans and a lot of excitement to the league. No doubt about it. I told somebody I posted up. I mean, just a simple. It was just the pregame, them being the huddle. I put it up on a YouTube short, and it got close to 9,000 views in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just amazing the activity they're drawing. But the woman who is the right now dominant player in women's basketball, and again, I don't watch all the world, but I would think even the world, is a young lady I had the great honor of interviewing just a few years back. I can't believe it just time has flown. I had a chance to interview her when she won the Naismith High School Basketball Player of the Year, right actually down the road from where they do the games now. And that is Asia Wilson. She is a terror. Let's look at her stats. She leads the league in scoring, 27 points a game, almost 4 points better than Arika, and I can't pronounce her last name, so y'all forgive me. She is second in the league in rebounding behind Angel Reese at 10.9 a game. And she is leading the league in blocks at 2.7 blocks a game. Yeah, and
Yeah.
she is playing
On the
at a
path
level that's just incredible.
MVP again.
Right. Yeah. And I wonder, and maybe I'll get a chance to ask this question if we get our credentials for Friday night. Uh, she was a little salty last year when she did not win MVP last year. And of course, that drove her to be an absolute beast in helping her team win the WNBA title. And I'm wondering if there's still some of that left over because she she hasn't been doing a lot of smiling this year. She looked like a woman on a mission.
Mm.
So it'll be interesting to know if that still had some after effects. You did mention the fact that that helped, like Michael Jordan said, when the years that he didn't get picked and they picked Malone, and then I think one year they picked Drexler, no, picked Charles Barkley. He said, "Okay, we'll see, we'll
Yeah.
see." All right, let's go to social media. All right, he said, "This is fancy football. Goat strategies. What's up? It's been a while since we've had you on, brother. Good to see you." What's he saying, Tree? Can you read that?
I cannot. I'm on my cell phone.
That's why you're on cell. No worries. It said Clark is a legitimate hype favorite for Rookie of the Year. He said Reese is the dominant front running favorite for Rookie of the Year. All right. Well, so it's almost a
Good
statistical
point.
tie.
Good point. I know
Yep.
that's the crazy part. Never has there ever been a season like this where it was such a difficult decision. Typically, there's usually one person that is slightly higher than
Right.
all the others, and you pretty much know, okay, she's rookie of the year, she's rookie of the year. This year, I mean, my goodness, they are neck and neck. Like seriously, it is great to see. I love watching it. I'm so happy
No
for
doubt.
both players.
No doubt. It's great stuff. And it's just unfortunate that you only have XYZ number of players that can play in the Olympic team because I think they would if they had enough room to add two more players, those two would have brought a lot of energy to those Olympics. But it's like all the players that pointed out, that's one of the toughest women's team to make in all the sports.
Yeah.
So, who are you going to basically say, okay, you don't play for these two guys? But it would have been great if they could have maybe gotten some extra room to add those two guys on because I think it would have been a lot of fun to see those two in Gay Paris.
Yeah, it would have. One thing I do want to say though, because I know a lot of people were talking about Caitlin Clark not making the team. You have to look at the people who are on the team, and it would be different if a lot of these greats had retired and then there were more open spaces. But I mean, come on, we want to win gold. You see what we're doing even with our men's basketball team. They put together another dream team. The last dream team, I was in high school when they had the dream team with Karl Malone and all those guys. And so the goal this year is to win gold. We don't just want to go and represent the United States. We want to go and win the gold medal. And at the time, I don't think Caitlin Clark was playing as well or producing as well as she is now. So I can understand why she didn't make the team. Now I think if they would pick the team now, I think that would be different, right? With her and Angel Reese being able, but even still, there's so many other veterans that I think play at a higher level, but when you're leading the league, you can't really argue with that. So I think had they picked the team a little later, yes, they probably both would have made the team. But it just gives them something to strive for.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, before they expanded the NCAA tournament, that used to come up all the time. You'd have so many great teams with great players, and they just didn't have the room. People don't understand that at one point the NCAA tournament had only had 48 teams.
Yeah.
That's it. I think before that they had 32 teams. So I mean, there were a lot of people, and that's what made the NIT tournament such a big tournament because a lot of guys used that as a great runner-up tournament. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I think that it's good with the number of Division One teams that you have an expanded field. I think, me personally, I think that the field of 68 is too much. I think that 64 and it's probably about the right number. But like you say again, people, I can play about 14. I'm just like saying, hey man, I guess I'm a traditionalist, and I always loved the fact that the NIT was kind of that great runner-up tournament, for teams that couldn't get in the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, I guess I'm a little biased because of age, but bottom line, yeah, like you said, there's only so much room.
There is.
I
But
mean,
speaking of the NIT, what really disappointed me this year with the NIT, I'm not sure if you so well, I'm sure you did, but it just really broke my heart how many teams declined the invitation to the NIT. There was a record number of teams that said that they were not going to play in the NIT since they didn't make March Madness and they were just going to go ahead and move ahead working on the following year. How unfortunate that is. I mean, anytime that you get to play basketball and play against great talent, that only makes you and your team better. So, I mean, I get you're disappointed you didn't make the big dance. I know that's the ultimate goal. But when you get a chance to play for a championship for anything, especially the NIT, which I don't know, that to me, it was just very unfortunate to hear how many teams declined their invitation.
yeah, I think that unfortunately, one of the things that the huge dollars that have come into college sports and even starting to drift into high school sports, but definitely college sports. One of the big problems is that it has moved the sport in the other end of the pendulum to be too much focused on money, on notoriety, who's watching, and it's taken away, like you said, some of that desire to want to compete. And that's really, that's a sad thing because, like I mentioned, even the bowl games. I'm not trying to say that there weren't too many bowl games. I kind of think there were, but the idea is that the more you kind of water things down and the more you make it all about money and all about this one tournament, people are not going to have the desire, like you said, to compete because for years that's what it was. You wanted to compete against the best. You wanted to try to go out and say, okay, we didn't win this division or we didn't win or get to the dance, but we got to this and I got still a chance to play against some of the other best players in the country.
Yeah.
And now, I'm shocked myself. I mean, I didn't pay too much attention to it, but I didn't realize it was that they set a record for the number of teams that did not play.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, and look, and we saw it in the bowl game with Georgia. We saw their opponent they laid down. It was terrible. They were like, because we think we should have went to the playoffs. Basically, they just said we're not going to play.
Yeah.
And
Which
for
is
me,
just
it would.
unfortunate. I mean, come on now. You don't do that as athletes. You don't do that. Everything
No,
happens for a reason. I understand that even myself as an athlete, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that I'm some saint and perfect person because I'm definitely not.
no,
There
no.
are times that referees have upset me, right? And referees have made horrible calls that I knew was wrong. But what I always do with my game is that I'm not going to yell at a ref. I'm going to let my play do the talking. That's it.
Yep.
That's all you can do. Nobody can question your play. And so then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to make sure that the next one is so far in, nobody can even think that it's out. So, I mean, I don't know. For me, there's so many things that matter. Integrity, you know, integrity
Yeah,
means
I mean, like you said, it's unfortunate, but this whole money thing has created a lack of that. And the sad thing is, the adults in the room are the biggest culprits because some of these coaches around the country coming on and saying, "I'm not leaving the school," and that literally the next day, they're doing a press conference saying I'm at Joe University. I mean, stuff is terrible. Let's
But
go back
I
to
don't think that's a problem. I mean, just the coaches have to do what's best for their families as well. And I get why they say, "Oh, I'm not leaving," because they want the support of the school, the athletic director, the alumni, and they want you to feel that, oh, they really want to be here and they're never going to leave, right? But then time something happens, it's like, okay, I'm out the door. Me personally, I would just not say I'm never leaving. See, I'm a person that I'm very careful of the words that I speak, and I say what I mean what I say, and I would just twist it if I knew that there's a possibility I may leave this school one day as a coach, right? We all know that it's not set in stone for anybody to stay where they are unless you're Nick Saban, right? and Alabama will never fire you. But yeah, I don't like that they do that, especially like you were saying, where it's this week and then 2 weeks later you're
right.
out
So
the
that's my
door.
point. I agree with you. I mean, nobody can. You can't really force anybody to be held accountable 2, 3, 4 years after they say something like that, where they have, like you said, this is monstrous deal. I get that, but what irritates me is that, and especially before we had the portal, you had coaches hollering and screaming about guys transferring, and literally you'd have them on record a week before, I'm not going, blah, blah, blah. And then the next week, sometime within a few days, oh, well, and they were somewhere else. That's the kind of stuff that irritates me. And it's,
Yeah.
like I said, you're the adult in the room. So if you're telling me your coaching philosophy is what some of the points you talked about earlier is about competition, is about integrity, then to me, as the adult in the room, you're setting a bad standard. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why we have stuff that we have today, or even the college presidents, all that crying and moaning about, oh, we're giving all these scholarships. As soon as the NIL became beneficial for schools, I haven't heard the president say a peep about all this money that's not even being used at NIL. It's just pay for play. Just saying. Speaking of pay for play, we going back to social media here. Fantasy football GOAT strategy says, will Alabama be the new Kentucky? He said the Alabama squad, talking about basketball, is loaded. They should be back in the Final Four. Yeah, man. That is one of the beauties about the tournament, is that teams that traditionally football schools or traditionally baseball schools, they can get on a run, man. And especially in these times where you have NILs, which will hopefully keep guys in school longer. That's the one thing I will say I think will be a side benefit, that you're going to have less and less one and dones. Yeah, you could get teams like this, or like UConn. Nobody's talking about UConn. Back-to-back national titles. The coach said, I'm not going to the Lakers. I'm staying right here. I mean, if they win another one the next year, where would you rank them amongst the all-time teams? Having won 3 in a row. So, yeah, it's just anything can happen when you have coaches and a university that sets up a what am I looking for? An atmosphere for people to stay. So if you can do that, I think it's pretty darn good. All right, let's go to where are we at here? 8:36. All right, we're gonna take a little break here. I'm just excited. You were gonna say something?
No,
No.
I was
She's
just
just
listening.
smiling, looking
I mean,
beautiful on
I'm
camera.
agreeing that I'm looking forward to seeing what Alabama is going to do on the basketball court next year, and I love seeing them excelling outside of just football. Which, I mean, if you know about University of Alabama, they have great programs in all of their sports. It's just that it's nice to see basketball getting so much notoriety and everybody watching and playing and supporting. But I just want you guys to know I am so excited about football season and basketball season. Like, I'm already waiting and counting down to get the basketball schedules released, but I know I have a long ways to go for that. But I am so excited to see football and basketball for the pros and colleges this year. It's going to be some exciting football and basketball being played. I'm looking forward to it.
Funny you should mention that, but I was listening to a radio station on the way in, and they said they had 8 teams where they felt for them coming up this year, it was Super Bowl or bust. And team number 4 was
My
the
Detroit
Detroit
Lions.
Lions.
Oh, I know. I get it. Listen, I've already said, I've said it already. I'll say it again. My Detroit Lions are going to the Super Bowl this year. You heard me say it. I said it. I said it. We are going to the Super Bowl. Like I've told people, get ready, because New Orleans, all you're going to see is a Honolulu blue, baby.
I mean, certainly they have the team. They're stacked. They're ready to go. They were knocking on the door, and usually that's what happens. You knock on the door, and pretty soon you kick it down.
Yes.
And
And
no.
oh no, I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say, and I'm so proud of my team because we re-signed and we kept the people that we needed to keep. We put our money where our mouths are, and we have and kudos to the coaches that stayed. I mean, listen, I can go on and on and on, but this team is on a mission. They're on a mission. And when you play how we lost and you train it like that, and you know they have that in their heads the entire season, oh, we're coming for you. We're coming for you, and we're playing with a mission, and I think that we will meet that mission this year.
There's no question that the Lions are a team that really, really wants to win. Like I said, Coach Dan Campbell is, he's got this team whipped up to a pitch, a fever pitch. The fans are cranked up. So I said, well, Sully just had to make sure before we stop talking about college, he had to say, "Go Dogs!" About his Georgia Bulldogs. He had to make sure to get that in there.
Love his Bulldogs.
Yes, sir. Well, look, I mean, quiet as kept. 2 national titles in the last 3 years. Had not been lost to Alabama last year, they had a shot. I really don't think anybody could have beat Michigan last year. I really don't. I think same thing. They were a team on a mission, and I think that their combination of great interior line play. People don't understand how important it is, but their offensive line, one of the best in the country. Defensive line, not flashy, but same thing, able to stop the run and give just enough pressure to that defensive backfield to do what they need to do. So, yeah, Sully just said, no.
And for all of those who may not know, let me just share that my Michigan Wolverines, we had the most, I hope my phone isn't dying. I have to run and get my charger. But I'm going to say this really quickly before I run and get my charger. We had the most players drafted. Oh, okay. Just wanted to say that for everybody that's talking about all the other teams, other schools. Yes, Michigan, we put them out. But that may be good for some of these other schools that's coming for us, right? I still think we're going to win, but I'm just saying. Go Blue! Go Blue!
Jim Harbaugh, right. See, with this, now that Jim Harbaugh is a lesson in patience and tenacity. People all over Jim Harbaugh, he's the best, great guy, but people forget 3 years before when he could not beat Ohio State for the 3rd time, people wanted him fired.
Yeah,
I'm like, you people are crazy.
Right. Yep.
The guy got you to the playoffs. No coach had done that before. He had won 10 games consistently, but he had a couple of games that the losses were so egregious, i.e. the infamous fumble punt against Michigan State, a big play against Ohio State that allowed them to win. That's all people fixate on. I'm like, hey, man, the guy, they're playing really good football. But he's like, I'm not leaving until I get 2 things. We get 3 things that he had. I'm beating Ohio State on the regular. I'm winning Big Ten titles and a national title. And once he won those 3, he said, I can go into the sunset now. And he did. That guy will be a Michigan hero to the day he dies.
Oh, we love him.
Right. As you should. Sully's still not off the tee. He says, go red and black. He's still hammering.
Because I said go Blue.
Right.
Sully is hilarious.
Look, you got to give the guy credit for being
he go red.
Right. A real fan. All right, speaking of Sully, guys, we're going to take a little bit of break. And as we go to the break, I want to show you this wonderful plate of food that he has, because for those of you who are new to our program, Sully and his family run some restaurants here in Metro Atlanta called Village Burger. And we happen to go to the one in Johns Creek. And let me see if I can get this video up so you guys can take a look at the food, and then we'll go to a break. Let's take a look at how we dined at Village Burger. Okay, guys, as you can see, Sully told the truth as advertised. This is the turkey burger and fries. And the queen has, what do you have?
Chicken. I have a wonderful chicken sandwich with cheese, lemonade, no ice, and fries.
Good stuff. And there's mine, and we're about to chow down.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery,
all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm Aria, the first AI presenter for Real Talk Sports. We want to get your feedback about my participations in the show, so please leave comments. So stay tuned, the Real Talk Sports Show is coming up.
You want me to pick you up?
I had to go back on a little bit of that vibe from Miami Vice. That little drum beat coming in as we bring you back from break on the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host and minister, Jonathan Simmons. And we got about 15 minutes to go here before we get off the air and let you guys go about your business. Again, we're very thankful to those of you who have tuned in to join us. I appreciate you guys hanging in with me because on the first 4 minutes, my microphone was in the off position and y'all couldn't hear a daggone thing. So I appreciate you. And remember, follow us on social media. Speaking of that, at Real Talk Sports at #7 or at Minister J Sim. So please check us out there. But yeah, good stuff there. You guys saw Sully's wonderful food he has there. Check them out. It's a Village Burger. We're going to look at some point before it gets really cold to actually do a show out there, a live show. So you guys stay tuned for that, and we'll get you updated on that. He's got a location in Johns Creek, which is the one we went to. Lovely little place. He's got one in Alpharetta, and I think he's got one in Cummings. And I think they just opened one somewhere else. So Sully, you'll have to update it on that as well. So yeah, guys, good food, good people. And I also want to give a big shout out to all those of you who watch us on Facebook. You guys a few weeks ago put us into rarefied air. It was the first time in the history of our show that we eclipsed over 10,000 views on the same night. And over the course of 2 days, Facebook told me that you guys at least pressed the play button over 30,000 times. So we appreciate you on Facebook for you guys supporting us. And last but not least, appreciate those of you who understand I work in the car business as well. As Tree, believe it or not, a longtime watcher of the show calls me up and says, you know what? I forgot you sell cars. I need a car. And she came in and traded in her Dodge Charger and got herself a nice, cute little Ford Escape. So, yep. Appreciate you guys for all your support. And remember, we're going to start putting some advertising up for the Queen because you guys out there. Now, if you want to really gift your significant other nicely and, you know, maybe come by to visit and have the room smell with a wonderful aroma, well, the Queen does candles and all types of nifty gifts. So we're going to make a little advertisement for her so you guys can see and support her because, you know, I know it seems far away because it's blazing hot, but Christmas will be here sooner than you think. And your significant other might have a birthday coming up in the fall. So I'm just saying, check us out. So yeah, we do like to talk sports, but we're in business as well. So I appreciate your support there as well. Queen, I'm asking you a question. Who are you going to be watching during the Olympics this year? You got you women, men, gymnastics. What's your flavor?
First of all, it's not just one. I love watching the men's basketball. I love watching the women's volleyball. I love watching the men's track and field. I love watching the men's gymnastics. I love watching the men's swimming. I can go on and on. I love watching. I love the Olympics. So I am so excited to watch. I can't wait to see Team USA. I'm always counting the medal. I help with the medal count and keep up with the medal count and see how many gold medals we have. But I'm just really looking forward to seeing our athletes perform. And I really just can't wait to see. I'm so happy for the gymnastic team. And I want to see Simone Biles. I hope she continues to get more medals. I'm so happy that the Chicago Bears are allowing her husband to come over and support her. I just think that's so special for a husband and wife to be able to support when they're both professional athletes, because not everybody is an Olympian. And so for them to do that, it just brought my respect level much higher for them. But I can't wait. I'm excited to see it all. But listen, I'll tell you what, with this dream team that the men's basketball team has put together, I expect us to come away with the gold medal. But who are you looking forward to watching?
Well, I tell you, before I do that, you mentioned about Chicago and your respect for Chicago. We have a Chicago fan that chimed in right at the end of our football segment. This is what he thinks about your Lions. He says, Caleb Williams, the QB, smells lion meat. Go Bears.
That's what I think about that. So listen, y'all can smell lion meat all you want to. Okay. We'll see what happens when we play you guys. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't have to talk junk. My Lions do the talking for me with their play on the field. Okay.
Queen says she's not afraid of no shade. Bring all the smoke you got.
I want all the smoke.
She says she wants all that smoke, baby, because she said the Lions are going to handle their business, which I think they will. They're going to have a great season this year, as well as our own Falcons. But okay, as far as who's I want to watch, all right, there's no question that I enjoy the sprints. Love the 100, love the 200. So I'm going to be very fascinated to see both Noah Lyles and Shakari Richardson. And I'm also fascinated about the relay because, and of course, this went viral on a gazillion pages. The classic showdown from a couple years ago between the Jamaican team and the American women's team. I mean, that was probably the most electrifying 40 seconds I've seen in a long time. I mean, the speed, the intensity, these women were just, I mean, they were going at it. And of course, as everybody, well, maybe people don't know, the Jamaicans kind of had the Americans' number for the last few years.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, so it was just outrageous to see it. All right. How it is. People like to talk some football. Our man Todd is popped up on social media. Let me get my glasses. Let me put my shades on. Here they are. Here's my regular glasses. Let me put those on so I might see more clearly. The rain has gone, and that's the truth because it was raining like a banshee. Anyway, Todd said the only thing Caleb smells is his nail polish. Ooh.
Go Todd!
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna dwell on it, but yeah, they've had some real. Caleb's taken some odd pictures as of late. We had him in kind of like that. I guess guys are into that kind of like quasi gown, quasi Arabian chic look. But yeah, man, I was gonna tell him, dude, that's not really a good look for like an NFL quarterback. Got the little dress looking thing on, got the fingernails, look like he has some lipstick or something going on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot of business. Brothers, please help us out. We leave that alone. Anyway, yeah, so as far as me, yeah, I'm really interested in the sprints. I am quasi interested in the men because the team is a bit older. Even LeBron's playing a high level. He's not the LeBron of 15, 20 years ago. And that team is packed with a lot of our older stars. So it'll be interesting. And the other thing, too, is it's not like it was with the original Dream Team. The rest of the world has caught up with us. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see those guys. Yep. But yeah, for me, my focus is going to be primarily, I think, on the track and field, and certainly the women's gymnastic team, and really both gymnastics team, but more the women because it's just interesting how the team has gotten so diverse in terms of their looks, their style, their ethnic origin. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting Olympics. That's all I can say, and it's in Paris of all places.
I know Paris. I was in Paris. When was the last time I was in Paris? Well,
yep. So that's going to be
oh no, but
phenomenal.
Anyway, Paris.
I've never been to Paris.
I think you should go.
Me too.
My husband and I were planning on going back, and unfortunately, we did not make it. But I am planning to go back to Paris and do a lot of things there that I did not do while I was over there playing volleyball. But it's a beautiful city, beautiful place, just very different. Very different. It's not like what I thought it would be, but in some instances it was. But it was actually a place that I would have loved to go to watch the Olympics at. But, it is what it is. Unfortunately,
yeah, I mean, for me,
made the team.
Look, at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, Paris, I've talked to a couple of people who have been. I look at Paris the same way I look at Bermuda. I think I would probably be more inclined to go if I actually was either engaged or married. Because one thing I will say about going to Bermuda, it really was, I mean, breathtakingly beautiful, but it really had a vibe that was just made for couples. And I think Paris is the same thing. I mean,
Fact.
to me, it just feels like a city of romance.
It is.
So
That's
yeah,
why it's my favorite place. Well, it's not my favorite place, but that's why it's one of my favorite places. It is the city of love, and you will see couples just standing wherever, just kissing for about 20, 30 minutes. I love it. It's beautiful.
I could probably sign up for that. That might work. I think that'll work.
You had to sign up for that. You also
Yep.
see a lot of couples along the water and the rivers, and they have their blankets out and they have their glasses of wine. It's a beautiful place. It's the city of romance. It's the place of love.
Well, I guess I might put it out there for you eligible bachelorettes. If you want to take a trip to Gay Paris, I would be open for suggestions. I'm just saying. All right, let's before we wrap it up, let's go to my man Todd. You know, Todd has to talk a little football, throw some shades. He said, okay. He said, let me get my glasses on so I make sure I'm reading it. Then I'll put the shades on. He says, I want Tree's take on Mr. Blank putting himself in the ring of honor. No Super Bowls, 7 years, no playoffs, and other great former players were worthy. So Todd
What?
wants you to, yeah. So he's asking, what do you think about the idea of Mr. Blank? Now he says Mr. Blank put himself in. I don't think that ought to work, but anyway, he says, what do you think about Mr. Blank putting himself in the ring of honor for the Falcons, not having won any Super Bowls, 7 years without any playoffs, and other great former players being worthy?
Did he really put himself in the ring of honor?
I don't think that's how it works. I think you're voted in. I don't think that he just arbitrarily says, I want these people in. That there's a voting process that goes to that.
No, I think they do, because regardless of what you say, it's kind of funny how a lot of people, like, when they get inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame that same year, they go into the Ring of Honor. I mean, so I don't think it's random, because it just doesn't seem like the same people would get inducted at the same year when there's so many different options. But is he really going into the Ring of Honor, Todd?
Yeah, he is. Yep, he is. They announced that Arthur Blank has been inducted. Now, they didn't say inducted himself. It says he has been inducted into the Falcons Ring of Honor. That's what it says. So I'm not sure how that works. I'm not, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I'm like, well, you know.
I did not know that, but I should have known, because Todd always comes correct. I don't care what nobody says about Todd. Todd is always up, and he knows his stuff. And he has.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get the real
everywhere.
deal, and he's not gonna pull any punches. He's gonna let you know where he stands without a doubt. Well,
That's interesting. So my take is, I agree. I mean, I don't know if he did it. He may or may
no,
not
he
have
didn't.
had something to do with that. But I think maybe the reason that they did that is just, you want to give people their flowers while they're living.
While they're
And
living, yes.
even though he has not won a Super Bowl, he did take the team to the Super Bowl, and he did do great things for the city and for the Falcons. So, I mean, I can see that. I don't think it takes winning a Super Bowl to get in the Ring of Honor. My husband's in the Ring of Honor, and he never played in the Super Bowl. But of course, I can't compare him and Arthur Blank, because my husband is way, way better. And when he retired, he was the 4th all-time sack leader. But anyway, I can go on and on about my hubby. But anyway, just interesting. I'm processing that. That's interesting.
Yeah, Todd said, preacher, he put himself in the Ring of Honor. I mean, I don't know, and I think really it's the fact that the guy is reaching his 80s. I think he does. If he was involved, I think he wants to smell some flowers. I don't know, but I mean, here's the bottom line about Arthur Blank. To his credit, in his 22-year tenure here, for at least half of it, the Falcons have been some semblance of must-see TV. He had the audacity and foresight, even though it kind of blew up, to bring in a guy, had he stayed straight and narrow, could have been considered one of the most, well, even without that, one of the most electrifying players to ever set foot on the football field, Michael Vick.
Okay.
I can tell people, what do you say?
I was like, who? Oh, Michael Vick. Yeah.
Right. So there's no question
when he came, people forget when he came to the Falcons, he brought in some very talented executive people, especially in marketing, and they did something which I thought at the time was very risky. People forget how skeevy the Gulch was back then. 20 some years ago. I mean, it was like there were way more homeless tents. It was really kind of I'm thinking, how are they going to have like tailgating here? But to their credit, they got the place cleaned up. They got a good product on the field with Michael Vick, and people came into that Gulch before it got any kind of real heavy duty cleanup, and it became must see TV. And I can tell you, going to those games, because at that time we were doing some sponsor work with Warwick Dunn. It was just, you could feel the energy driving to the stadium. It was
Oh yeah.
insane. I mean, it was just, there was nothing like it. So yeah, man, he brought that. Michael did get them with some epic playoff wins, including the first team to beat the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And then, of course, as much as everybody says, preacher, you now you backpedaling on Matt. Even when I made the comments I made, I still said, hey, I had to give the guy some due. I always felt he should run more. That was my statement, and I still stand by that. I think that while he played, he should have ran some more. But
I
I
want
mean,
you to
hey,
get out there and run. That's what I want you to do. I want you to go on the football field. I want you to put on some pads and just do a couple of drills and run against guys your own age, because I don't want you to get injured. And you will quickly stop saying that.
all right, here's what I want to say about that. Now, there was no one around me, but I did take the Dan Quinn field the punt challenge. I did. There was me and 3, 4 other OGs, and we did it. And at the beginning, I looked like I was gonna make a play. I was bouncing on my toes. I looked alert, and the punt went up. I kind of took a couple of steps forward, couple of steps back, couple of steps forward, and the ball bounced about 3 yards in front of my feet. And I
I had
looked over
a
at
feeling
Coach
you were going
Quinn,
to say that.
and he
Yeah.
looked like, "Oh, buddy, I was expecting so much more from you." So, but I
Yeah.
did don the helmet. They made you put the helmet on. You had to have a helmet on because you had to get an idea of depth perception. So I will say, madam, I was on the practice field with a helmet on, and I attempted to field a punt that it did not go well. I will admit that it ended badly.
Yes. And my thing is, you always talk about how you want the quarterbacks to run. You cannot have quarterbacks that run too often, because you want them to stay with the team and not get injured. Running quarterbacks are not safe. We see what happened with Dak Prescott. You want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Yes, there are times where sometimes they do need to run or get away, but that is not what you want.
Right. And again, I'm gonna clarify. I didn't want to be the next Michael Vick. I just needed, like, every now and then, like with Tom Brady, you could get like the quarterback sneak when you needed to actually get a first down or touchdown. I needed a few more of those. And then, like, if you were about to be sacked, when you really can't be sacked, to kind of maybe slide up forward and just trying to get out of the way, get on the line of scrimmage. I'm not looking for you to run and jump over guys, just get back. But anyway, I have had said this, and this is documented. I told people many times in this show, as much as we have our angst with Matt Ryan, if in fact,
Not as much as
when
you.
Matt Ryan was first drafted, come on,
Yeah, don't say we, because it's only you, but okay.
right? I said, if someone told you when Matt Ryan was first drafted that he would get you to the playoffs 6 times, NFC Championship twice, and to a Super Bowl, you would say, okay, I'll take that. I'll sign for that. That'll work. And so that's how I always felt about the guy. I felt he could have done more, but I always say, hey, man, the guy gave you kind of what you would want, for a guy coming into a bad situation. I mean, he did what he had to do. So he deservedly should be in the Ring of Fame. I mean, Ring of Honor, no problem. Mr. Blank, I mean, it was
Are they
all in
putting
his tenure.
Ring of Honor too?
Huh?
They're putting him in
Yeah,
the
Matt
ring.
Ryan's in.
Oh, good. I'm
Yep.
happy.
Yeah, Matt's in. Yep.
What was
Because
the that was on the screen?
that was Todd. He was saying, I work for Mr. Blank. Yep. He says, preacher, you sound like you work for Mr. Blank. LOL.
Oh, I thought he was saying he works for Mr. Blank. Oh, I get it.
Hey, look, man, I'm trying to get back and cover the games. I mean, if I got to butter some bread, I can butter some bread. I'm just you got to do what you got to do. I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying. All right, so I'm going to say this as we wrap up, because we got a lot of Falcons guys here. We post on the Falcons pages. I know we haven't started. The summer camp is about to start in a couple of weeks. Tree, do you think the Falcons have a realistic shot of getting to the playoffs?
Nope.
and winning the division?
Hecky no.
What'd you say?
I said hecky no.
You said they don't have a shot or they do have a shot. What are you talking? They can't
I
do it?
said I said no, I do not think they do. But
Wow.
honestly, I think honestly, I'm joking. I'm joking. I think that possibly because our division just, I mean, we see that teams don't even have to really do well and they can win the division. So that's not really the toughest thing to do. So I think they do have a shot actually. Now, as far as going really far, I mean, you still got my Vikings and my Lions that are gonna demolish them. So yeah, I said it. I said it.
I mean, demolish them.
That's how I
Demolish.
feel. That's how I feel. My Lions, we ready. Like y'all know my song that I play every week after we win. Are we ready? And make the video, right? So my Lions, we ready. My Vikings, hello, we have my Michigan quarterback. Hello, McCarthy's our Minnesota Vikings quarterback. Like it's a win-win for me, my Lions and my Vikings. I mean, we're both lit this year. I'm
All right,
excited.
I'm gonna say this now. Todd is saying, how can they win this year with no cornerbacks? He's killing them already. He's saying these
Wait,
guys got no shot.
you talking about the Falcons?
Right? Yeah, he said they don't have any cornerbacks. I mean, here's the thing about the Falcons. Okay, should they win the NFC South? They should. On paper, operative word is on paper. They have what should be one of the better offenses in the league. The problem is their schedule is tougher this year. I mean, right out of the rip, they have to play several playoff teams, good playoff teams. You got Pittsburgh coming into town, and they travel well. I've been there in the dome before, and these guys pay scalpers delight to get these tickets.
Oh, you
And
see
they
our
pay,
little cows.
yeah. So they're going to be here first game. And oh, by the way, the offensive coordinator is your former head coach, Arthur Smith. So you just know there's going to be some, that's right, a lot of that head snarky, all that going on. Then you have to play the Kansas City Chiefs, the two-time defending Super Bowl champions. You have to play against the 2 year ago NFC champion, Philadelphia Eagles, with a running quarterback. And oh, by the way, the Falcons have always been bad against defending against mobile quarterbacks. So they got their work cut out for them. Oh, and they played the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's
they
a tougher schedule this year.
much
Same
tougher.
for our Lions, but I think it'll be telling when the season starts and I start seeing how they're coming ready and prepared. Sometimes, like you just got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired,
Right.
and make some changes. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I want the Falcons to do well. I really do. I want them to do well, and we'll see what happens once they start getting out there and getting at it. But it is a tougher schedule, like you just went through. So who wants it more? That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, no doubt. And Ken, this defense that everybody keeps talking about being pretty good. I remind people, I understand that the offense didn't do exactly what they had to do, but the realities is that the defense last year gave up 3 game-winning drives to lose games with the offense that scored early in the quarter and got them a lead. And so I'm just saying, maybe they're tired. I don't know. But wait a minute. What do I see on social media? I think Tree has got a convert. Todd says, I'm starting to believe in the Lions.
Woo! Woo! Okay. One pride.
He got a convert. What?
Hey, don't forget we're America's team.
Wow.
We're the new America's team.
Man. Well, let's look at this Falcons schedule here real quickly. Like I said, they open up with the Steelers. Then they follow up against the Eagles on the road. Then they host the Chiefs. And, of course, always a rivalry game, the Saints at home, followed by the Buccaneers at home, Panthers on the road. So we're going to know basically midway through the season what we got with the Falcons. They're playing 3 playoff teams and all of their division opponents.
Yeah.
So we're going to know right off the rip what we got with those Atlanta Falcons. But I tell you what, we also got, guys, we're about to run out of time here at the Real Talk Sports Show. Appreciate everybody again for hanging in with us here. Tree, any breaking news, any comments that you want to talk about in the world of sports before we sign off?
No, I mean, just make sure that everybody's tuning in and supporting our Olympic athletes, and make sure you watch Wimbledon. Unfortunately, a lot of our USA team members have gotten eliminated, but we still have some Team USA members that are fighting for the finals, and let's just show our support.
Yeah, definitely a change in the guard in Wimbledon, all the majors now. I mean, from around the world, all your top players that have been on the scene for, the last 15, 20 years are fading out. Rafael Nadal, and of course, we know the Williams sisters, so many people, Roger Federer, a lot of guys that we watched for years and years are now off the scene or fading off the scene. So it's a new crop is here. All right, let's go back to social media one more time. Todd said, I hate to pile on Mr. Blank, but he won his own night. It will be that Sunday night primetime game against Kansas City. Well, Todd, if you own the
Well,
team and you
when
were,
you own the team,
you probably do the same thing, man. I mean, 80 something years old, you're thinking, hey, he battled cancer a couple of times. I mean, he's thinking, hey, I'm gonna get my
oh,
due while
I
I
didn't
can
know
get it.
that.
Yeah, so I guess you can't get mad at the guy. What can we say about Mr.
Hey,
Arthur Blank?
hey.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But I do think the Falcons have a good opportunity to be a playoff team. Me personally, I think the bar is for them. Got to win the NFC South. I really think you got to win that playoff game at home. To me, I mean, because you invested a lot of money in your quarterback position, and allegedly that was the only reason why we couldn't get the playoffs last couple of years because we had bad quarterback play. Now, again, the schedule is not as tough as it is
Uh,
now, but I'm just
I've
saying.
been saying for years that it wasn't the quarterback. Have I not? I've been saying it for
Right.
years. Have I not? So the problem is that when teams are winning, everybody congratulates the quarterback. When teams are losing, everyone blames the quarterback. Atlanta has had great quarterbacks, so it definitely has not been the quarterback play. That's just that's
Not
just
when Matt was here, but the last couple of years with Desmond Ritter, yeah, he's looked too much like deer in the headlights. Yeah,
well, okay, but you're the one, right? You you're the one that was like, oh, Desmond Ritter, he's our quarterback. Oh, we need to play him. He didn't play enough this last year. We need to have him as the quarterback. I saw some great things. And then when he got out there, now you see. But I like that you believe in him. I still believe in him. I just think he needed more time to develop. And I think that once he does develop all those things that you were saying, I think we still will see from him in the future. But I just think he needs to sit behind someone. I think it was just too much pressure that they were putting on him, and he just wasn't ready at that time. But I do like Desmond Ritter and the things that I saw from him. So I do I'm not talking about when last year with all the craziness with the quarterbacks. I'm saying like when we had Matt Ryan and other quarterbacks that were actually doing well before they sent them away. So let me clarify that, because you're right. We did have that fiasco with the quarterback.
And really, and again, unfortunately, Mr. Blank screwed the whole thing up because as much as we want to just completely blame Arthur Smith, which some of it is on his blame because he should have kind of dumbed the play plan down, knowing that the young man didn't get a chance to really understudy on the mat. The idea was originally to bring Desmond Ritter in and basically do what they're doing with Michael Penix. Let him sit a year on the mat, get a good feel, no pressure, and then play in the preseason and be ready to play. Develop some synergy with his teammates. But he got none of that. Instead, he was behind Marcus Mariota, my boy. I love him, but man, he was terrible. I never knew that he would sink to those kind of depths because I mean, I know he kind of been banged around, maybe lost some confidence, but I mean, he was terrible on the Falcons as far as throwing the ball. He ran pretty good, but he was terrible throwing the ball. All right, let's go social media one more time. My man Todd, he says, pitch is the key. And I don't see him improving. He ain't got that fire in the belly.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, Pitts it's not that money that they pay him. He needs to produce.
Well, not only that, but they use a number 4 pick on him from for overall pick. And a guy they could have had, ironically, is on your Lions balling out. And that's
Hey, but
Panay School.
everything happens for a reason. And he's the highest paid. I'm just saying, we love Panay. We love
I
all
mean,
of
he's
our Lions. Don't get me started. You know, I love
no,
my.
and I listen. I was hoping the guy would come here because I same thing. I saw him at the college awards, and some people mentioned about the possibility about him coming back to Atlanta. He looked ready to go. I'm like, man, that's our guy. I said, and who knows? You know, it's the crazy thing how our life works. Who knows if they had drafted him, if Matt would have never been out of there because that guy can block. I mean, Panay Sewell can block, but
Hey,
that's a
that's
whole
why
nother
he's the
story.
highest paid.
He's a
The highest
bad boy.
paid for a
Yeah,
reason.
he is a bad boy.
He's a
So
beast.
that's it, guys. Look out for those Lions. The Falcons better fly, or else it's going to be the fur's going to fly here because all that money that they spent on Kirk Cousins. Yeah, I hope my boy.
I mean, that was good money spent. Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback.
Well, no,
I
like I said, I tell you,
believe the
if you can
Vikings.
even get 85% of Kirk Cousins before he got injured, the Falcons should go to the playoffs because him at 85% is still way better than what we had before with Desmond Ritter and the other guy.
Kirk Cousins, he's a great quarterback. He's going to be great for the Falcons. I'm so happy that he's here.
And he's happy too, and so is his wife because I didn't realize his wife is from here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, the Falcons have the one thing that is great about the Falcons. They really seem to go out of their way to pick good character guys. And it seems like they try to pick guys, not all of them, but some guys that kind of a local flavor. You know, I mean, Kirk is Kirk, but I mean, the idea is that his wife's family is here. They drafted a young man out of Notre Dame. He played right at Holy Innocents, the school right down the road from Sully's place. So,
Ooh,
you know,
ooh.
they drafted a linebacker,
Oh,
JD
Kirk
something. I
Cousins.
can't call it
I'm
right
like,
now.
oh, Kirk Cousins played at Michigan State, sir, not Notre Dame. That's
No,
what
he did.
I
No,
got you.
his wife, his wife's family, and he talked about how he was in the stands for the NFC Championship game when the Falcons went to Super Bowl because I guess his wife's parents have been season ticket holders for years.
Mhm.
So, and he's a good guy. And I'm gonna tell you something.
Yes.
I would not be surprised. This has nothing to do with football. That when his playing days is over, that he does not become an evangelist or pastor because I heard him at the prayer breakfast where he won, man of the year. Yeah, Kirk was. I thought, oh, that anointing got him. They were like, okay, Kirk, we got to let you get off the stage. He was fired up for the Lord, had the scriptures down. I like, man, Kirk he might be a preacher. So
Yeah.
again, good to see him here. Yup, glad to have him, a good guy. All right, guys, I know we have to go. But before we do that, you know how we do. We want to make sure that you know more about our co-host and guests. So, Miss Tree Dolman, the queen, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022. And I do just want to let you guys know that I have a lotion drop that's coming from my company, El Shimon. And this is some of the best, amazing lotion. We have 6 scents for women. We have 4 scents for men. All of them smell amazing. And this lotion is made with goat's milk and shea butter. It's so great. So I'm not just saying this, trust me, you'll see. But look for that. And thank you so much for watching.
The queen has spoken. All right, guys. The minister here, appreciate you again for watching the program. So I'm going to throw in my public service announcement. If you do not know the Lord Jesus Christ, your personal Savior, I'm going to tell you, please, man, please, sir, get to know him today. Why you can see all the craziness going on in the world today, that his return is probably quicker than we think. But really, here's a good thing. He loved you so much that he came and died for your sins, but he rose from the dead. So if you, in fact, repent of your sins and believe that, 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become saved, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you can now go to God like a heavenly parent, asking for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And when you die, you go to that spectacular, beautiful, beautiful beyond words place called heaven, where there's none of the following: no pain, no pandemic, no bad people. Uh, you never get old, you never die, you never cry. Matter of fact, it never becomes nighttime because the glory of God illuminates the kingdom. And good news, you now will see Jesus Christ, all the people of love, all the people in the Bible face to face. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I just mentioned to you won't be there. It's dark, it's dreary, it's fiery, it's painful, and you are locked down with the devil and all his demons forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number 1 instead of option number 2.
All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply say, God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and take care.